The atmosphere is really unique. It has quite an unusual feel, I think. The quarry itself definitely has a vibe to it, and some of that vibe literally comes from the vibrations of the electric mountain below, the hydroelectric plant that powers up from Llanberis, the mountain just behind, down into Llanberis beneath. It's alarming that, isn't it? Yeah. First section.
Yeah, it's bold little start.
I feel like I'm going to have to relearn, Tim, what I can actually trust my feet on. Good offset wire. Glad I brought those. Right, Tim,
yeah.
This block is a little bit loose, so I'm not going to clip anything to that or put anything behind it. But what I am going to do, this might make you laugh, is pull on it gingerly. Do you know what the old adage is, Tim? Pull down, not out.
Sound advice.
Right, next piece of gear. Right, Tim, on yellow. This is no ordinary VS. If you've never climbed on this slate before, then I think what will surprise you first and foremost is just how small those holds are, because they are tiny at times, and also how small your gear can be as well. You've got to go about things a little differently to maybe how you would on a gritstone outcrop or on a rhyolite mountain route.
There we go.
So the quarrying of the slate was obviously a major industry. I mean, literally they have ripped the entire side off of a mountain in order to excavate the material. And when they closed, that was obviously a significant thing for the area. And it was in the 80s that climbers kind of crept in, initially almost undercover, to come and climb these routes. And it has left with it a legacy of incredible routes. Now, very few of those routes are easy, and that's what makes Seamstress so special, I think, because it's a VS climber's glimpse into the world of slate. Whoa, I've got some... Glad I brought my stretchy leg wear, Tim. So Seamstress takes this thin diagonal crack up an amazing feature known as Serengeti, or at least that's the name given to it by climbers. In recent times there's been efforts to bring back the old quarryman names, and the name for this particular feature was Ponc Morgan. And this is part of a wider campaign, really just to champion the Welsh language and also the history and heritage of this unique place that we know and love as climbers. Oh, that was great. It's quite wild. You're really on your feet and your hands are much smaller than I remembered them being, and the gear is smaller still. You get time to think about what you're going to do because you can stand around on those ledges, you can relax, you can lean in and get all of the weight off your arms. But then when you do pull into that move, little holds, feet really high, you've just got to get all that weight rocked. You need to really approach it with confidence when you commit to the move.
So I think the one great thing about the slate quarries is that it's like a giant climber's playground. I remember coming here quite early on in my climbing career and just thinking it was super cool. Being at mountain crags, being on sea cliffs, and then I came here and it was just totally different. The climbing itself is technical, balancy and bold. I think you basically need to be able to hold it together, have like a really good head, make good decisions, but it's not on your arms and it's not getting you, for a majority of the routes, you're not getting pumped out your mind.
Nice one, Tim.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
oh, it's a corker, isn't it?
It's a view.
I mean,
It's good. If you've never climbed on slate, you'd learn a lot on that route.
yeah, so much stuff there, and it's quite user friendly, I reckon, as well.
It's the pattern, I think, of you do a few moves,
Yeah,
then you get to a rest, and you can just sort of let your heart rate.
quite out there, really, isn't it? It's, you know, like you don't do those types of moves on VSs very often,
Yeah.
and I think the slate definitely forces stuff like that.
I think because that lack of friction as well means that it's really binary, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's either a hold or it's completely featureless and
Yeah.
unusable.
yeah, it's good.
Boom.
Good job, Robbie.
Cheers, mate.